We're on top of the roof on the Henderson Fire Barn, June 7th, 2017 at 7:30 p.m. Starting in the southeast corner, we're moving up along the east wall, going to the north. We're not seeing any variation in temperatures that would indicate moisture has penetrated the rubber surface roof. We're in the northeast corner. We come up on the parapet, and it's still 7:30 p.m. The sun is still up. The small elevation of the parapet has a shadow on the rooftop, and that's what the blue area along this north wall is showing. So we're moving to the west on the north wall. We're coming up on the area above the laundry room where the issue has been on the wall getting wet. We'll be taking a look at this patch that's on the parapet. It's over the top of the seam. Doesn't show any evidence of moisture. Moisture should show up as white or yellow underneath. Here's the sewer vent. It's got solar gain on the sun side. Then the exhaust for the chimney, for the furnace. Same thing, solar gain on the sun side of the chimney. We're at the northwest corner, now turning to go south along the west wall. The parapet on the west has a shadow, which is keeping that area of the roof cool. As we move along, we look down, and the range of the temperature changes in the camera as it records. And here's a south wall where the parapet is still retaining heat from the day's solar gain. We take a scan of the whole roof surface here, and it equalizes the temperature ranging. And we don't see any surface area that indicates any moisture penetration. When we come to a spot like that just now, it has some emissivity and reflection that might be causing some of those differences, but it's not a temperature that shows a big splotch underneath where the moisture could have penetrated. The seams have a little different temperature signature. It could be from solar gain differences, or it could be emissivity of those surfaces being slightly different. As you look out across the top, it sometimes turns blue, and that could be reflecting the evening sky, which is going to be minus 40 degrees. So any reflectivity is definitely going to be showing us cooler. Once you look down at a low angle into the roof, you get pretty even temperatures. I might have mentioned it, but the washers and the screws that hold down the blackjack and the insulation are visible. They still have a higher temperature thermal mass than the insulation around them. There's a patch on top of a seam. But basically none of the seams appear to have any leakage through them. There might be some separation on the very edge of those seams, but a lot of them have a 3-inch weld joint that has glued them down together. And we're approaching the east end. We've been moving in an S-shaped curve, trying to cover the roof at a close angle to show you if there's any differences. And here we ended up at the same corner, the southeast corner, and we'll scan the roof one more time just to kind of get an overview. Walking back to the center, looking at a patch. Nothing of concern there. There's the overview, and there's nothing that stands out as showing us a thermal image with heat accumulation of moisture. This is beginning the 11:30 p.m. scan. At this point, the night sky is cooled down. It's dark. We're in the southeast corner again and going through the same pattern throughout the roof. We're going along the east wall, going north. As we came to the northeast corner, we find some blue spots that are cooler in temperature. And the only thing I can suggest is that the blackjack may have been separated from the insulation, and the thermal mass below is not as continuous there, and that spot is cooled off quicker through the night. As I did look at some of those depressions that were circular blues like that, I put my foot down onto them. They were fairly soft substrate underneath. We just passed the parapet on the north wall, and the block is retaining the temperature of the solar gain through the day, and so that's why that is still warm along that edge. Approaching along above the laundry room, we'll soon be seeing the vent to the sewer system. Right there it is. Then moving on to the chimney from the furnace, some heat retention coming up through the building there. But again, there's very even temperatures on the roof. There's another blue colder spot, which had another soft touch to your toe when you put it down on that substrate. But the roof is intact and not leaking in those areas. Along the west wall, moving south, just kind of checking out the roof as we go. We come up on the south parapet again, and it's definitely got some heat that's radiating out into the top of the roof there on the corners. Now we do an overall scan of the roof, and we might see again some of the blue coming in from a distance, but it could be some reflectivity from the sky. But the ranging is such that it's not showing any temperature differentials of moisture penetrations. So now we go in the same manner. We're trying to go in an S-shaped curve back to the east, trying to get close-ups of the roof to see if there's something that would show up. We're not seeing any temperature differentials. If you've been watching the numbers there within the box is the maximum and the spot temperature. So you see a differential delta of the T there. If you look through this video again, you can watch those numbers change, and you're not seeing very much variation in the delta T. Some of the seams again showing up as different temperatures, but it could be emissivity changes from some of the surface being different. Those washers and the screws that hold down the surface are still showing their round heat. So as we move across, feeling pretty comfortable to say that we do not have any moisture intrusion into the roof. Otherwise, the signature would have indicated a temperature differential greater than what we're seeing. And we're approaching the end of the view of the roof. We're going to end up in the southeast corner where we started. Passing by the northeast corner just now, along the east edges, and there's the southeast corner. Thank you for viewing the video with me.